The sky was burning. The clouds red with twisted fire. Lightning moving across them. And they descended upon everything. Like a furious battle between God and Satan, good and evil. Like a fire vortex.
Well, well, well. Look what we have here. It is a doubleheader in the SGL Premier, and it's not even a Thursday. Oh, come on in, SGL. This is the only Mazar. I'm going to be running the stream, and I'm going to be commentating both of these matches tonight. And we're going to be kicking it off in about 5 minutes between the locals and EC Eternal, followed by a top-of-the-table clash between KC Cauldron and El Matador. How's everyone doing? I see Pico David, aka Playboy Farty, in the Twitch chat. Welcome on in. So it's interesting because typically we've had so many matches on a Thursday, you know, regardless of what week it has been for pretty much this whole season. This week, no one seemed particularly interested on playing on a Thursday. And, you know, for this last match, I could kind of provide a little bit of info. They might not be able to play this week, unfortunately, because both teams don't have their 3 available at the same time. So that might have to be postponed until Monday. But it will be played out by Monday at the very latest, that's for sure. Anyways, that will come in a future day. Tonight we have these two banger of a matchups coming up tonight. Locals versus DC Eternal and KC Cauldron versus El Matador. Christian, good to see you in chat. He's saying El Matador 3-1 win, even though I think 3-0. So you wouldn't be surprised if they won 3-0, but you think they'll win 3-1. Sorry, no, you wouldn't be surprised if they win 3-1, but you think that they will 3-0. They'll win 3-0. That's fine. Pretty much a safe bet. We will see though, because KC Cauldron have been stepping it up and they have been starting to get a little bit better and a bit more back to their old self. But we will preview that matchup in a little bit. For now, let us focus on the locals versus EC Eternal. Now, EC Eternal have been an interesting side. On paper, they have a bunch of good players. In terms of their performances and results, however, they just haven't been able to showcase that. So, you know, they get a decent-ish number of shots, but a lot of them are solo efforts. Their goals for also show that they don't create good chances. They take a lot of difficult shots, trying to be forceful, but they don't get goals. And that's because they aren't able to make good opportunities and they're not able to, you know, commit when the ball is loose. Christian in the chat is asking, is this the playoffs? No, this is not the playoffs. This is week 13 of the SGL Premier League campaign. Luis, welcome, dude. Hopefully you're doing well tonight. As I was saying, EC Eternal can get their shots off, but they're not quality shots. You can see that with the shot percentage as well. And the assist totals are also very low. You would expect them to have more assists, you know, given the players that they have. Christmas, amazing mechanically. Bispo, great support player. Spanky, very, very good in laying the foundations and passing the ball. But when they play, when they come together, they look very conservative. And as a team, you're like, when you watch them as a team, you know, you're left there thinking, man, I know they could do better, so why aren't they? The only department where I'd say they have done well is defensively. They are able to get out those saves and, you know, make them, especially when they're under pressure. Defensively, they're a very tough nut to crack. They just need to make everything click going forward, and I think they'll become a very good side once they do that, because they have a lot of very good players, and we'll dive into the players in a bit. As for the locals, they had a bit of an up and down season. Last season they had a really good go, but they just couldn't go far enough in the playoffs. They got knocked out against Timber's Army, who had an amazing resurgence, and since then they've just been, you know, the gatekeepers of the SGL Premier this season. That would typically be the role you'd see from Steel Army in past seasons. The locals have taken that up in the SGL Premier, in our top tier. And you see that with, you know, their stats being a little bit on the lower end. And that's because at the start of the season, they were heavily relied on Meki Ducky to produce, but even he wasn't at his best, and the team as a whole just really struggled. And back then, they only had 3 available players: Dr. Aquatic, K-Doughboy, and Meki Ducky. However, now, they've a lot more players to select from. They have Shaybob and Munzadeth coming in, both of whom have been terrific additions to the side. They have a third new player, Kima, who's yet to appear, but he is around. Smitty, good to see you in chat, man. Welcome on in. I look forward to seeing you playing in about an hour, half an hour, sorry. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, back to the locals. As you can see, it's been Meki Ducky, Aquatic, and KJ. It's just been those three. They've been playing consistently. No subs, no rotations, no change in game styles and all. It's just been the same old locals. But once they brought in their reinforcements, the Shaybomb and Muns, once Raid came back, they have looked way, way better. And I have to give a big shout out to Shaybomb, who has been an absolutely incredible addition to the team. He has unlocked them and taken them to the next level. He has freed up the Duck, and he has allowed Aquatic and KJ to play in their elements and not try and extend and overdo. Muns is interesting as well. At the start, he kind of struggled. And when I say at the start, I'm talking about the first match. Even in the cup match, his first cup match, he kind of struggled. But once he got over that initial hump, he has looked like a solid player. I mean, terrific support player, able to unlock the potential of his teammates no matter who they are. And in all honesty, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts to get more of those goals into his game. So far, he hasn't had too much in terms of offensive end product, because for the most part, he's been focusing more on the defense and looking to, allow his two teammates to be free and do their thing. Typically being Ducky and Shay, or the Duck and Aquatic. I would like to see him play a bit more, because I feel like he can really unlock his true potential, depending on the lineup, of course. And then you have Raid, who's been out because of school and for other reasons, but now it's the summer break for him, and he has come back, and he has really showcased his potential. Still a little bit rusty, because he has not played in a while, but he is looking better. Christian saying, I got locals 3-0, 2 sweeps today. Gotcha. And we'll see how that goes. Especially when we look at this EC Eternal side, talking about, the locals and their trio. EC Eternal have had a similar situation develop. Christmas, Spanky, and Bisbo. That was their trio. That's it. But recently, Huskies has been their third, with Bisbo not making as many appearances. And it's interesting, once he's come in, the team seemed to, play in a completely different way. Instead of having to rely on solo playing and individual efforts, with Huskies coming in, he's been like a glue in their team. He's been allowing them to, play more like a team. So what I mean by that is, he's not as proficient individually, but he takes the right spots, he makes the right decisions, gets into good places so that his teammates can pass out forward for a quick counterattack. He's always at the right place at the right time. Defensively, he has been very good, making a lot of saves, critical saves at that, which allows Spanky and Christmas to be further ahead, play more on the front foot, and you start to see more from them come out. So individually, Spanky and Christmas's game has gone up and has gone better. And Huskies himself has gone better too, because he has two teammates who would grab all the attention, and he's there in the free space capitalizing on that with good finishes and quality plays, like a nice pass to an open teammate, or a good save, or a really good 50 in the midfield. Just the basics, and when he does the basics consistently, and that allows his whole team to go up another level. They still haven't been able to get the results, though. And that's because, for the most part, they're still very conservative. If they could push forward, I think I could see them do pretty well against this local side. And, folks, both teams are in. We are going to be kicking off very soon once those two teams get in. So strap yourselves in. This might be a bit of a long stream with two matchups. Locals versus EC Eternal, and then KC Cauldron versus El Matador straight after this. We're going to kick off with Locals and EC Eternal very soon. Rip Shark, good to see you in chat, dude. He comes in saying, Bisbo had a great training session with me. He's going to go hard tonight. Good to hear. I look forward to seeing Bisbo play, because he has been out for a while. Christian and chat saying, I doubt any C's go 5 games. On paper, it may look like that, especially based on past results and performances, but I wouldn't dismiss either EC Eternal or KC Cauldron that readily. Also keep in mind, you know, especially when it comes to El Matador, they might want to rotate. So that may make things a bit more interesting. And here we go. We are about to kick off. And so begins the Locals versus EC Eternal in Manfield. Great start here by the Locals. KJ coming in at the end, just off target. And now a quick counterattack from Bispo. Just couldn't do much with that. We'll see if the EC Eternal can get on and start off at the front foot. So far, though, the Locals, they're able to get forward relatively easily. Got a good half chance the second time around. Third time around, not so good. But so far, Locals are looking pretty solid right here. KJ, Shea Bob, and Muns for the Locals. And then for EC Eternal, Bisbo, Christmas, and Spanky, the OG trio. Shea Bob going up, beating Bisbo to the ball. And demos Christmas for his trouble. Ball out into the other end. Muns off the backboard. Shea open. 1-0 to the Locals. And that is what I was talking about earlier, chat. When the Eternal try and play, sometimes they create a huge gap between the front and the back. And that allows the Locals to come up with way too much ease. All the time in the world for Muns to play a pass off the backboard. Shea putting it in. And that's the lead for the Locals, 1-0. It's all on EC Eternal now to respond. Ball loose in the midfield. All of EC Eternal back. Spanky getting bullied. Muns coming in with the dunk. 2-0 just like that. The Locals are not sitting back. They're playing on the front foot. KJ harassing Spanky. And then a last-ditch effort there from, I believe it was Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. But Muns coming in, making sure that ball goes into the back of the net. Good fast start by the Locals. They have done pretty well to capitalize on the early pressure. Once again, that midfield pressure is relentless. Shea and Muns leading the way. KJ now coming up. Muns gonna have to bail out off this. Shea and KJ double committing. Muns needs to go back. This gives EC Eternal a chance to build up a counterattack. Pass out to Spanky. But intercepted yet again by the Locals. They have had a read for those early passes so far. Christmas loose to Bisbo. Bisbo flicking it away. This should give the Eternal a bit of reprieve. Spanky now has enough boost in the tank to be able to do something with this. Muds, nice second touch. Taking it away from Spanky. The Locals now get some time on the ball. Bisbo having to just rush that, but couldn't do much. KJ leaving it for Shea. Going for bumps. Nobody's home. And it's Shea who gets demoed for his trouble. Pass into the middle by Bisbo, but nobody there in the midfield. Shea bringing it forward. Christmas clears it out. Muds, oh my goodness, he missed. Christmas thought he was able to make it. Oh my goodness, a lucky ricochet. Muds with two interesting moments right there. A little bit of discomfort for him, but he gets away with it. And the Locals see the ball at the opposite end. Shea's not able to make it. KJ all on his own. He has to deal with this. Looking awkward. Bisbo off target. Muns away into the midfield. EC Eternal now slowly going into this. Spanky going for a 50. Good defending right there from Shea. Making sure that ball doesn't get forced through him. Shea off the sidewall. That ball isn't going in. But it is Christmas who gets in right on time and sees it off. And now Spanky getting involved. Getting the second clutch save. What did I tell you guys about the defending? EC Eternal can defend. But as I say that, KJ gets an incredibly fortuitous goal. Off of the sidewall, ball bouncing harmlessly. Christmas trying to get a first touch, and he puts it into his own net. Oh no, you hate to see that, chat. You hate to see that. I had to open my big mouth, didn't I? Anyway, sorry, Rip Shark. Unfortunate timing. Well, 3-0 to the locals. Less than 90 seconds to go, and the locals are looking relatively comfortable right now. For all the good defending, they've been undone by an unfortunate own goal, and the locals are looking really confident. That demo, though, might unsettle them. Bispo still at the goal mouth, but Shea clears it out into the midfield. Christmas trying to get a second touch out to the corner. Has enough time, or so he thought. Muns is already there. Ball loose in the middle. Muns once again lofting it in to the far post. 4-0. That is Munzadeth's second goal right there. He is now on a hat trick, and the locals are looking really, really good right now. As for EC Eternal, all they need to do, as Toad Death in chat said just now, Toad Death, by the way, welcome on in. Regroup and go again. Absolutely. Shake this off. Get back into the groove in game 2. Don't worry about this. Use this as a warm-up game. If you get a goal, good. That helps get you going for game 2 and beyond. 3 seconds remaining. Shot by Shaybomb all the way wide, though. Ooh, poor placement, if I do say so myself. But the locals keep it up. Muds off the corner, trying to follow up. Looking a little awkward. Shay now tries to slow it down, but plays it out towards Spanky, who now it's time to get a shot off. Going for a solo play right there. Tries to dunk Muns, but Muns is at the right place. Able to see that off as the clock ticks down to 0. Eternal are looking for that one consolation goal. It is not going to come. The locals win game 1 4-0. And what a start. As you see Muns with his developer tag right there. Yep, title, sorry, right there. Yes, Munzadeth is a developer in Psionics for Rocket League. If I'm quiet, chat, it's because I'm reconfiguring the lobbies, so there will be moments where I will be a little bit quiet just to make sure that the lobby is set up and everything's taken care of for both sides. Christian in chat asking, Muns is Mechie? Not necessarily, but he's a smart player. Knows how to make the most of his skill set. I'm also not going to say he's not skillful. He has mechs in him, but he's not a mechy player. Like, he's not going to go and... you're not going to see too many individual plays off of him. We are going to be heading into game 2 very soon. As you can see in the scoreboard right there, Muns doing the damage for the locals. Whereas the EC Eternal, they need to regroup. They need to get going yet again as game 2 kicks off in Forbidden Temple. Christian asking, where's Ducky? Well, I'd like to know as well, because no subs, and it doesn't look like we might be seeing the Duck anytime soon, based on how this is going. Good start, though, by EC Eternal. They make the most of the good, stronger finish. Bisbo off the backboard, Spanky to the far post, rolling it off of that little bend. 1-0 to EC Eternal. This is just the start they needed. The Sergeant Patrol, aka Dr. Aquatic. Good to see you in chats. And he is saying Ducky is on vacation. Well, that explains it. We're not going to see him tonight then. So for EC Eternal, with this lead in this game 2, they have the opportunity of a lifetime to get their second win in the Premier League this season. Good demo right there. Christmas off of the middle towards the back of the net. Good defending though. Shay now getting beat by Bisbo in a complete contrast to game one, where you'd be seeing the locals winning those challenges. It is EC Eternal who are now playing on the front foot and being a bit more aggressive. Ooh, a little awkward moment though by Spanky. Bisbo getting interfered with as well, but he gets to clearance, and now he's able to bring it up with zero boost to the corner, trying to get the second touch, fakes it, bonks, bonks, net is open. Christmas though is not able to make it on time, and the locals get away with it, almost conceding a second, but just getting back and regrouping. Best time possible. Oh my goodness, what was that jump? Open net. Bisbo in the middle though, coming in and making a clutch save. That was an awkward moment right there. I was not expecting that jump. But so far, EC Eternal are doing way better defensively than they did in the first game. Christmas now clears it out. Muds, ooh, I think he wanted a touch right there, but he's going to have to hit it away. Ball's loose now. Nice pass by Spanky to Bisbo. Bisbo getting challenged. KJ not able to get to the ball. Loose. Christmas trying to use all of his boost to get to it. Bisbo getting bumped away for his trouble. And now the ball's in the opposite end. Spanky looking awkward. Need to go back. Christmas, though, is right there. KJ not letting him have any time on the ball. Going for that challenge. Going for the demo on Bisbo, who gets away with it and gets the pass from Christmas. Spanky now needs to be back there as the keeper to see this off. And he gets back right on time. After a little bit of an awkward move by Christmas, Spanky's there to clear it out. But Muds keeps it up to Shay. Good pass. Good save. Spanky clears it out. And it's still 1-0 to EC Eternal as we enter the second half. And not too long after, Months of Death gets the equalizer. The pressure kept going. What a bump, by the way. Shay, you playing pool out there, using one EC Eternal player to bump the second one away. Months had the open net. Great Rocket League right there. Smart team play. 1-1 now between the locals and EC Eternal. This has been a much, much closer game too. I'm loving the endeavor now from this EC Eternal side. Coming up, trying to engage in the midfield. Even if they get beaten like this, it's way better because it allows them to be on the front foot, and the locals now need to, be careful. They can't overcommit anymore. They can't just push themselves up. We're seeing a way more balanced, even affair right here. Dr. Aquatic in chat saying, I got off work late, but confident that this trio will get it done. I mean, so far they've looked very good. With that said, sometimes a sub might be necessary, so hey, your team might call on you. Depending on what happens, you might want to be ready. Good double touch right there by Christmas off the corner, but no one in the middle. Spanky joining him. Now Bispo getting out of his defensive position. Solo play towards the middle. Christmas going for it. Save, but the ball's loose. Spanky coming up, and Doughboy is able to clear it out. KJ now on the left side. Shay going for the challenge. KJ got the boost. Couldn't get the bump. Now Muds needs to take care of this. That he does off the backboard. Looking awkward though. He's able to get the corner boost. Spanky having to go away. Christmas with little to no boost. Just trying to be a pest right there. Bisbo now trying to keep up the pressure. Spanky off the side towards KJ. Clears it out. Who passes it to Shay. Shay, shot towards the net. Christmas, not again, dude. No. In game one, we saw him touch it into the back of the net inadvertently. This time he shoots it into the back of the net inadvertently. The idea might have been to just hit it off the backboard and clear it out, but oh, he just did not get enough power into that. The ball was too flat, went into the back of the net. 2-1 to the locals with less than a minute to go. But they've been so much better. Can they get the equalizer right here? No, they cannot, because KJ has gone the third with 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Great 50 there by Shay. KJ at the right spot. Bisbo in no man's land, in big trouble in that spot. KJ putting it into the open net. 3-1 to the locals. That is a gut punch for EC Eternal. They definitely regrouped after game one, but it looks like the end result will be the same. A loss for them in this game too, unless they can get two quick-fire goals. But it's the locals are looking more likely to get a goal. Their fourth EC Eternal with an awkward play right there, but they kind of get away with it. Shay, Muntz, and KJ all in the orange half. And with the clock at 1, chat, this game goes to the locals. A much better effort from EC Eternal, but once again, the locals see it off. 3-1 in this game too. Bonesy, good to see you. Feels like it's been a while since I saw you in Twitch chat. He's saying Christmas ruining parlays. Christmas not looking too good in this game too. Having that unfortunate own goal when he was 2-1, when his team was 2-1 down. And as you can see right there, Shay this time leading the way. Muntz playing a more reserve role despite getting a goal, with Shay playing a bigger part. KJ having a big performance as well, being more involved in the final third with his bumps and demos and those touches off the backboard too. Just being an absolute menace for EC Eternal. Bisbo having one of his better games. And one thing I've always said is when Bisbo and Spanky step up and take over, EC Eternal looks like a much better side. And Ripshark, you said it right there. Time for Bisbo to take over. We shall see if that is indeed the case. As we enter Game 3, enter the regular DFH Stadium. Here we go. The locals have a chance to get a sweep. But will EC Eternal deny them? Not like that when both of their players are sitting back. KJ coming up with full boost and full aggression, ball bouncing favorably for him off the corner. Power shot into the near post, 109 kilometers per hour off of Allen's bangersonly.com radar gun. Christmas once again doing his best to make a save, but to no avail. Locals up 1-0. Eternal trying to respond, but once again, the locals are first to the ball at the near post. Bisbo now has the boost, has the control, calls Spanky off. Bisbo getting a touch over. Christmas going for the demo, but he's now out of position. Spanky with 0 boost, needing to intervene. KJ almost getting that touch. Oh, that would have been a creative goal right there for the locals. But it's not over yet. KJ once again towards the back of the net. Shay now coming in. Christmas did just enough to see that off. And now Bisbo bringing it forward into the midfield. Whipping. Christmas passing it. But there's no one there for the Eternal. And now Muntz takes control. Shay being a pest with 0 boost, trying to get all the boosts at the opposite end and interfering with the Eternal players. Muntz with a nice action right there, but just not able to win the 50. And KJ just going for a demo when the ball's at the opposite end? Well, it works out because Muntz-a-Death gets the power bounce shot and gets the second. You know what? That demo worked out for KJ. Well done. Well done. That's a good heads-up play right there because Christmas had to rush in, not able to make it. Powerful 54 mile per hour, 86 kilometer per hour shot. 2-0 to the locals. Unfortunately, it is a hot summer this time around, and it's gonna get even hotter with Shay coming in and getting the third for the locals. No Christmas in July, unfortunately. Hot and humid San Diego heat coming in, courtesy of the locals. 3-0 up, and we're not even in the second half. This is playing out more like the Game 1 performances. More like the Game 1 game, for lack of a better phrase. Christmas gonna change that though. Shot right there. Good save though by Shayball. Second goal. Bisbo 0 boost. Christmas now falling on solo play, getting 50 by KJ. Now Shay taking over. Off the side wall. 50 into the middle. Muntz coming in with no boost. Gets beaten. Christmas has 100, however, off the ceiling. Is he going to get the second touch? No, he cannot. KJ gets it right on time. He has enough boost to follow this up. Pass into the midfield. Good save once again by Spanky. And now the ball's going into the opposite end. Unfortunately, off target. That would have been the moment for the locals. Sorry, for EC Eternal to get back and the locals to be on the back foot. But now, once again, the ball's heading into the orange half. Oh my goodness, another awkward moment. A critical miss. A punishing miss at the back. Spanky having to do whatever he could, but Shaybomb pinching it off. 166 kilometers per hour, an absolute singer off of that car. And Alan Pandering, would be proud of that. He would love to have seen that. We love you, miss you, Alan. We hope you're still catching our streams of VODs. We love to have you back in SGL. But what Eternal don't want to see is another goal. Unfortunately for them, that is the 5th that they've conceded in this game. We're only just into the second half as well. Shaybomb getting yet another goal and having an incredible performance in this match. We've talked highly about him, both, you know, here tonight and in the podcast and in past matches. Now he's really showing what he's all about. Christian calling this game 3 early, saying got the first one right, sweep. And then saying now another sweep by El Matador. Well, we'll see about that. This game's not over yet. Mud's going for a dunk. Good defending though. Spanky. Oh my goodness, that miss is not going to work out, but Christmas takes over. Trying to follow it up. KJ. And then Muds comes in at the very end. Ball into the midfield. Oh, that's not a good launch, but he gets the ball. Christmas trying to get the second touch, but he's not able to get the car high enough. And now Bispo wins the ball and gets the goal for the for EC Eternal against the locals. After an awkward moment right there, KJ had the time to see a good 50, but Bispo saw that coming, put his Fennec high up. I believe that's a Fennec, right? Or is that, no, that is a Fennec. Okay, good. Puts it high up, gets the dunk on KJ. 5-1, could this be 5-2? Yes, it can. Christmas coming in with a quick fire goal straight out of the kickoff. Bispo, good pass off the backboard. Christmas coming in fast and getting the second goal for EC Eternal. We have a lot of time still right here, chat. EC Eternal might be able to spring a comeback and take us into game 4. The locals, they thought they were comfortable when they were 5-0 up, but a goal can change this game entirely, and it has so far. It is EC Eternal on the front foot. The locals, they need to bounce back. They need to respond. They need to make something out of this. Muds trying to play a pass, but gets it towards the back of the net instead. Shea trying to get a dunk to no avail. KJ keeping this up. Now Muds needs to come up into the midfield. Get speed by Christmas. Christmas looking for a second touch. Off of the backboard. Bispo, 5-3. And we have 66 seconds left on the clock. The comeback is on, chat. The comeback is on. 66 miles per hour, 105 kilometers per hour off of that shot, courtesy of AlexBangersOwn.com radar gun. For 5-2, it was Bispo to Christmas. This time it's Christmas to Bispo, and now the whole team has unlocked its potential in this game 3. The locals are looking a little shaky now. Spanky, nice bounce pass right there. Christmas not able to get to it. Bispo, open net! No way! How did that not go in? How is that still not in? Wait, what is going on? Wait. Did I see that right? EC Eternal let go of the ball, thinking that could have been going in. Then that ball rolled up off the post. And it stayed near the frame, but it never went in towards the net, right? Am I crazy for saying that? They could have just touched it in, right? Anyways, whilst I wait for chat to respond, Bispo coming in. Bispo getting the 4th with 18 seconds to go. The comeback is still on. The locals are looking shaky. Mud's backing up to try and get a good save, but that allows Bispo all the time and space to power it into the back of the net. And now it's the locals up by 1 after being 5 goals up. As the clock ticks down to the final 10 seconds, the ball's going into the other end with Christmas. No, he couldn't get the shot. He could not get the shot. And now they're all out of position. But Bispo follows it up towards Muds. The ball is at the other end. Surely they're going to let this go. No, Christmas keeps this up. The ball is at 0 seconds. This ball needs to stay up for Eternal, for this to go to overtime, and it still stays up. But they don't have much boost, and the game ends 5-4 to the locals. An incredibly scary moment for them, but they see this off, and they get the sweep, despite an incredible comeback by EC Eternal. All I have to say is, wow, what a game. What an absolutely crazy game. I have nothing else to say. That was absolutely incredible. Bisbo, Christmas, and Spanky all popping off when the game was almost basically out of reach. And the chance to really come back, but that one moment where the ball was rolling in towards the opposite end, I thought they could have touched it in. Maybe they were just too far away from the ball and they couldn't make it. When I saw that ball roll up, I was in absolute shock. Just absolute insanity. But the locals see this off and they get the sweep, so well done to them. Good result for them. EC Eternal, unfortunately, not getting a single point off of this. Chat, the stream is not over yet. We got a second match coming up for you all. We are going from the locals to EC Eternal to KC Cauldron versus El Matador, and it's the perfect time for me to shout out Skyline coming in. Finally, he's saying, I'm here now. Y'all can start the match, and he's now excited. Yeah, he's looking forward to this for sure. Hey, Christian, I have a question for you. Were you sweating bullets when you saw that fourth go in from Bisbo? Or were you sure that sweep was going to be done by the locals? While we wait for that answer, Posey comes in and says, Skyline and I are in Cancun. Yes, your season is over. You guys are enjoying yourselves, I'm sure. Enjoying the summer heat and humidity and the Gold Cup football, which is underway right now between Honduras and El Salvador after the US saw off Guatemala earlier. Christian in chat saying, I thought it was too good to be true. Hey, you got the result in the end, so there you go, bro. All right, I'm still setting up the second match, just so you guys could see the schedule real quick with the result. There you go. Local sweeping EC Eternal. We have KC Cauldron versus El Matador coming up very, very soon. And if I'm quiet, it's because I am trying to sort out everything and make sure everything is set up and good to go for both sides. So yeah, second match, KC Cauldron, El Matador coming up very soon. We're going to be kicking off right about now. This has been an interesting season for KC Cauldron and El Matador. And for that, let me just go straight to the standings real quick. KC Cauldron were at the top of the table for a while. You know, they held their position for a long time, but in recent weeks, they've really struggled to gain wins. And now they're all the way down to fourth, albeit with a game in hand. With a match in hand to Timber's Army, but they're 4 points away from El Matador right now. For them to remain in contention, they must win this match. El Matador, though, has their destiny in their hands. If they get this win, they win the league title, if I'm not mistaken. Because this is week 13. No, they don't win the league title because Emerald City RC still has to play. So if Emerald City RC wins, then it'll go to the final week. Sorry, my apologies. But yeah, if El Matador win, KC Cauldron will most likely be out of title contention, because then the gap will be at the very least 6 points, at the most 8 points. So KC Cauldron have to win to remain in contention. Otherwise, they'll be out of the title race. Yeah, we're just about ready to go. Chat, just bear with me for a second as I get the lobby set up. All right, we're now waiting for both teams to join. And whilst we wait, this is a good time to preview both sides. Christian in chat saying, I could give KC one game, maybe the first one, but I still think a sweep for EM. Yeah, I get you. I mean, there's a chance that KC Cauldron could get one game, maybe two. They did it last time when they faced each other. KC Cauldron were 2-0 down, and then they came back. They got it up to 2-2, and then they went to game 5, and El Matador saw it off. I mean, who knows? Maybe it might be a different story this time around. But as you can see right here, El Matador have been incredible on the attack with their shots, with their... I say on the attack. They've had a really good season overall. But what I meant to say was KC Cauldron have looked incredible on the attack for the most part. A lot of the good work coming in earlier in the season, but once they face the better sides, they really struggled to get those goals, and they really struggled to, establish a presence in the midfield. So they would just go back and they defend a whole lot, and then that's why their save totals are higher, because they would be facing a lot of shots. But when they get going, when this team starts to cook, they are an incredible team. I mean, these guys have really good chemistry. They like their passing plays. They like to mix it up with solo plays. But they're very good at bringing the ball forward very quickly. And a critical component of that is Thorngold, who I will be highlighting in a bit. As for El Matador, they've been at the top of the table. But a lot of people will say, when they look at their performances, and they might say, yeah, but they've not been super dominant and incredible every time around. But that's what champions are made of. Champions can get results even when they're not at their best. But when these guys are at their best, they're absolutely phenomenal and unbeatable. When they have their top trio in Luis, Caesar, and Wicca going, they are absolutely unstoppable. And they have the depth to see off a lot of teams and get wins when needed. I mean, we've seen Huey come up with massive performances earlier in the season. Kiwi come in with amazing attacking performances. We've even seen Koob have incredible moments, most notably in the Cup. But this time around, we'll see if they can bring out the strongest trio, or if we'll see other players start to make an appearance. And I think both sides are ready to go. We'll be jumping in very, very soon, chat. And both teams are going in. And while we wait for the screen to transition, Franza, good to see you in chat. Welcome on in. As the clock ticks down, here we go. Game 1 between KC Cauldron and El Matador kicks off right now. And as you can see with the lineups, it's Caesar, Luis, and Wicca, the strongest El Matador trio, versus KC Cauldron's Smitty, Thorngold, and Serrano, and it's KC Cauldron to take the lead. Serrano off of the corner, Smitty with a quick shot. Caesar looking awkward, not able to make that save, and it's KC Cauldron to take the initiative, 1-0. Oh, it's on over here, Thorngold with a dunk and a big save by Wicca to prevent them from going 2-0 down. El Matador on the back foot, but now Luis brings it forward. Smitty demoing Caesar, who was harassing him earlier. Wicca tried to go for a shot to the far post, but not enough power, and Smitty sees it off. And yes, KJ, that is right. Smitty changed his name back from Zach to Smitty. That is correct. Wicca now into the midfield. Luis booming it to the opposite end. Smitty sees this off, but Caesar keeps this up. Caesar at the corner, trying to pass it into the middle, but too close to Serrano. And now El Matador have gotten their rotations going. They can keep this pressure up. They have control of the midfield right now. Pass to Caesar from Luis, shot on net. Serrano with a big save. keep it 1-0. If Rydog's around, he might not like to see this. Rydog still scarred by the incredible defensive performance that KC Cauldron had earlier in the season when they beat Timber's Army 3-2. You might see something similar happen right here, but right now the ball's loose in the midfield. Caesar booming it to off the backboard. No one there for El Matador. Everyone's just staying back and waiting, and this allows the Cauldron to come up. Serrano off the ceiling. Luis, nice first touch. Has to beat Smitty, who 50s this to the wide area. And now pass out to Luis from Caesar. Ball still in the blue end. Wicca trying to bounce it off to Luis. Not much power though. Luis still there to take control, but gets bumped by his teammate. And now Caesar needs to take over. High up. Can he follow this up? He goes past the ball. He's now having to go back. Thorngold with 0 boost though. And that means Caesar can keep this up. Gets the second dodge, flicks it up. Wicca not able to get to it. Luis now off the backboard. Can he get the second touch? Tight angle. Thorngold and Serrano are both back there to cover the full net. Wicca trying to do something about that follow-up with 0 boost. But now the net is open. Caesar going for it. Thorngold comes in right on time. Huge save. And the net is open. On the other end, Serrano with the second for KC Cauldron. An uncharacteristically poor touch by Wicca, playing it off of the sidewall in the midfield. That is one of the most dangerous touches you can take. Serrano punishes EM, and now Serrano and the locals are 2-0 up. Thorngold going for a third. Serrano cleans it up, and KC Cauldron are 3-0 up. Who saw that coming? Maybe Christian did, but who else saw this coming? So we wait for chat to respond. KJ in chat saying, Smitty has the aura that Zach couldn't bring. You know what? I know you put the lull in there, but you know, might have a point because Smitty has been playing absolutely incredible in this game. Just looking like, you know, a complete different player. You know, not someone who's strewn with errors to go with his individual player, but someone who is just an absolute rock at the back and very difficult to beat. Very difficult to outsmart and outpace. It's Wicca tries to get a shot on net. No power. Wicca redirects it into the middle. Luis now needs to follow it up off the side wall. Solo play time. Luis solo dribbling. Second touch. Trying to bring it through. Serrano and Co all camping at the back. They're able to see this off. Solo plays will not do you much right there when the whole team is sitting at the back ready to go. Pass out to Thorngold. Couldn't beat Caesar. Smitty though following it up into the middle. Wicca though beats Thorngold, but Serrano keeps the pressure up to Thorngold. Can he follow this up? He gets the 50. Ball's in the middle. Loose. Serrano cannot get his hat trick. Unlucky. The Matador on the other end as we enter the final minute. And the game has slowed down. KC Cauldron realizing the situation, trying to waste as much time as possible to make sure that El Matador can't get the quick comeback. Oh my goodness, Luis trying to force it in. Once again, the individual effort not coming to fruition as KC Cauldron are ready for it. Not too many passing plays really coming off. Not too many team plays coming off as well for El Matador. Trying to go for a psycho, just not in the right position. Now Serrano carrying him with 0 boost. Caesar trying to get it out of his way. Wicca now getting demoed for his trouble. That's a big demo as we enter the final 30 seconds. Shot on net. Not on target though. This has been an incredible KC Cauldron performance. This is the KC Cauldron that I would power rank #1 over the past few weeks. I know Devin and Luis would throw shade at them consistently, but KC Cauldron have turned up, chat, and they have secured this Game 1 win over top of the table El Matador. And not gonna lie, they needed this win. If they want to keep themselves in title contention, they need to get this Game 1 win on the board so that they're able to build up their confidence and establish their presence. Chat, KC Cauldron are in a really good position, and as you can see, this has been a total team performance. Smitty looking incredible all over the field. Just being such a big presence on that field. He has the aura back, as KJ mentioned earlier. Thorn Gold being so difficult to get the ball past, just being so tough to beat, especially at the defensive end, and Serrano doing it all. Getting the 2 goals, making big saves, making big efforts out of the solo plays. Caesar with 92 points, though. You don't see that every time, chat. You do not see that every time. Skyline playing armchair coach, saying, I'm putting in a substitution. Well, we shall see if El Matador do this as well. Well, I did a bit of an oopsie. Not a major oopsie. A minor oopsie. We are still in Manfield, unfortunately. So, here we go. Game 2 in Manfield. KC Cauldron versus El Matador. KC Cauldron with a huge Game 1 win. El Matador, though, still have a chance to get this win and, you know, basically make sure that KC Cauldron are not in title contention. We see a substitution indeed, though, for El Matador. Huey coming in for Caesar. And now it's Luis, Huey, and Wicca for El Matador. Huey struggling in the past few weeks. Not really able to assert himself. We'll see if this is the game for him to get back to his best. Huey tried to solo dribble and flick. Could not get the flick off. Smitty now has control. Can he get the second touch? He cannot. Luis right there on cue. Gets beat. Serrano gets beaten. Thorngold at the back. Shots over him, but it's also over the blue goal. And Thorngold's able to see this all. Becky and chat cheering for El Matador. Still. Probably trying to play some reverse psychology there, you know, trying to curse him in a way, if you know what I mean, for his ECRC boys. We'll see. KJ in chat saying, so easy to forget and change maps, especially when you're casting and producing. Not to mention talking to chat. I think talking to chat is another big activity everyone needs to keep in mind. You need your attention in that as well. But no, I should have changed the map. That's my bad. Because, you know, like when you get into the groove as a player, you're expecting the map change. You're expecting the change in vibes. But now you're stuck in Manfield. It's like, you know, like it's a little thing, but it can make a big difference. What am I saying, though? I mean, I'm just playing armchair psychologist right here. Anyways, as you can see, it's a very cagey game, too. No goals yet. 0-0. And when both sides have had their moments, but it's El Matador who take the lead. And it's Huey coming in with a massive impact, getting a goal. Oh my goodness, what a dodge there by Wicca too, right on time, seeing that he could have gone in the way, dodging to his right. And Huey, after his struggles, gets a huge goal for El Matador. 1-0, and he bumps Luis away, saying, that's mine. Well, to be fair, he got the boost, but he has the confidence now. Slowly getting the aura back. Luis faked, Wicca towards Luis. Bounce off of the backboard. Huey off of the crossbar. Oh my goodness, a win for the team, boom! Luis slowing it down, carrying this, but it's not on target. And KC Cauldron get away with it. Ooh, a big demo right there. Thorngold, though, just not close enough. Does get the corner boost, trying to get a demo on Huey. Shot towards the net. Serrano! Yes, it had to be him. Serrano has been the main goal scorer for the Cauldron, and he turns up yet again after a great sidewall pass by Smitty. 1-1. Christian in chat saying, Manfield is the best map anyway, can't complain. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid map for sure. And KC Cauldron are making the most of their time here in Manfield. Could have had a second right there. Now Luis getting a nice second touch high up, but Serrano was waiting for that. Serrano able to see it off, and now Smitty's taking over. Smitty, Serrano, Thorngold, looking like the KC Cauldron that was at the top of the table competing for the title. It sucks we don't get to see them all the time, but here they are, causing huge problems for El Matador. This is do or die for them. They need to win this matchup to remain in title contention. As for El Matador, if they win, they knock KC Cauldron out of title contention. As we enter the final 2 minutes, it is El Matador at the opposite end with a low shot. He baited out KC Cauldron, and he puts a low shot into the back of the net. El Matador take the lead yet again. Serrano expecting Wicca to play it high. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to have to track back on that. Serrano expected the ball to bounce up or roll up, but the ball stayed down. Wicca was still on the ground, able to react accordingly, put it underneath Serrano, and El Matador lead 2-1. But never say never to this KC Cauldron side. They've been able to come back, and they're going to spring another comeback right here. But Huey gets a big save, despite Smitty's effort to intervene. And now Luis beats Thor goal. Can he get Serrano? He dunks Serrano. Sorry, Smitty. Serrano beats it. Open net. Equalizer. Huey trying to go for goal. Wicca, the third man, getting bumped. And all Serrano had to do was play it out to Smitty. Open net. Thank you very much. I will take that tap in. 2-2 between the Cauldron and El Matador. This game is not over yet. KC Cauldron can go 2-0 up in this matchup. A big dunk. This ball bouncing towards the back. And Luis redirects it into the net. Just like that, they take the lead yet again. 3-2 to El Matador. Incredible mechs on display right there, by the way. After getting that dunk off of Serrano, making sure he's able to get that dodge so his card doesn't get held back. Able to make it to the ball on time as it bounces off the post and touches it into the back of the net. It will be considered a tap-in for a player of Luis's caliber. Now KC Cauldron needs to do it all over again. They still have a chance to get the equalizer. Third goal! Open net! He misses! Oh no! And now Luis Reserve Boost puts it into the middle towards Smitty. Third goal to the side. Smitty off the corner, but it's going all the way back. Serrano needs to see this off so he can kickstart another attack as we enter the final 45 seconds. El Matador in the lead. We might be able to go up to 1-1. Wicca trying to slow play, trying to get the 50. Huey getting a big 50 right there. Oh my goodness, everyone with Luis back flipping and dodging and waiting. Serrano is able to clear this off. This is going to the opposite end, and Huey gets a clutch clearance off the backboard. And now he's going to slow play. Time waste as much as possible. But that is not the touch you want when Serrano is there, ready to go. We are now going to be entering the final 10 seconds very soon. This ball is in the orange half. It needs to go into the blue half for El Matador. KC Cauldron can always get a comeback. And when you keep the ball in the orange half, you can always count on Serrano to bring you back. And of course it had to be Serrano. It always is Serrano. Serrano has been the man to bring KC Cauldron out of the gutter, out of the pits of hell, up into contention. 3-3 for KC Cauldron. Final 10 seconds count. We might be going into overtime unless El Matador can respond right here. Or can KC Cauldron do something? They cannot. We are going into overtime. Absolutely insane game so far, by the way. I thought El Matador were going to be back at it, but KC Cauldron, they just find a way to get back into it. A lot of the times it's Serrano with the end product, but you can also count on Thorngold and Smitty to really turn up clutch. Smitty, speaking of which, cannot get the shot on target. I thought that was it. That was his goal right there. And Huey with the flick on the counter. Absolute cinema. What an incredible game two. With all of the struggles that El Matador have had with how difficult this match has been for them, they have been able to bring it back. It's 1-1 now, courtesy of a clutch Huey winner. All of the struggles that he's had to go through, all the frustrations that he may have had. And he's the guy to pull El Matador out of a potential losing situation, getting the game winner as well. Wow, what a game. What an absolutely incredible game. And this match is going to get spicy, chat. Stay tuned. This might go for a while. This might go all the way, potentially. My goodness, I don't think we've ever seen this lineup before either. Huey, Wicca, and Luis. I think this might be the first time we've seen this trio play. Incredible performance, and Huey really brought another dimension to this El Matador side with his aggression and his tenacious play. Caesar looking really slow and struggling with his game, and then Huey comes in and ups the pace, ups the ante insanely. As we now enter Game 3 chat, same lineups for both sides. I don't think we're going to expect a sub for KC Cauldron anytime soon. They're going to stick with this trio. As for El Matador, they're going to happily stick with this trio because Huey is on top of this game. Here we go, Game 3 in DFH. Can El Matador take the lead right here, or will KC Cauldron come back and have the match point? We shall see. El Matador, though, having a good chance right there, but just not able to get a shot out. Smitty and Serrano pinching it off. Oh my goodness, what a bounce too, but Luis has the time to dribble it out to the other end. Off the ceiling, great pass to Huey, who cannot get that touch on target. Now Wicca trying to keep up the pressure. Serrano high up, nice first touch. Baiting out the 50 from Luis, but it works in El Matador's favor. And Smitty getting the demo as Thorngold clears it out. Wicca getting right up to that ball, just not able to get a clean shot. But this is a chance for Huey. He's going to look for a solo play right here. First touch, gone. Second touch, speed. Ball off of both posts. Wicca cleans it up. 1-0 to El Matador. Once again, it is Huey doing all of the damage. Caesar coming in, enjoying the performance. Christian in chat saying, yup, after saying, I hope Casey does a full now after that loss. Christian, there's still a lot of gameplay to go. We shall see. But so far, KC Cauldron don't look like they're sitting back. But they might have to rethink their game plan because Huey is on another level altogether right now. Coming up quickly, all three KC Cauldron players trying to go for that ball. Triple commit, not working out for them. Huey saying, oh, look at this. I got a chance to score. Takes advantage of it. Thank you very much. 2-0 up. With a goal and an assist, Huey has had an incredible start to Game 3. Thorngold off the sidewalk. Can he respond in kind? Try to go for a second touch, but Luis clears it out bigly. Luis having to play a more defensive role, trying to kickstart a lot of the attacks. Wicca now trying to follow it up. Just not able to get to that ball with his Octane. Needs to bail out. Luis, shot on target though. Off of the crossbar. Huey once again off of the post. Wicca not able to get it past the KC Cauldron players. El Matador now keeping up the pressure. KC Cauldron look like they're just stuck back there. Possibly boost starved on several occasions. Just not able to get their rotation going right now as El Matador crank up the pressure. Luis, Wicca, and Huey taking control of that midfield very well. And now Huey off the corner. Just not able to get to that. Ball bouncing off the backboard. Big miss though, unfortunate, and now El Matador bring it the other way. Serrano having to clear it off the backboard with no boost, does enough to give his teammates a chance and himself to get some boost as well. Smitty, what a beautiful first touch, getting the 50, still has some boost to follow it up off the corner, but not enough to play a pass into the middle. Thorngold get beaten yet again. Every time Thorngold tries to engage against Luis, he gets beaten. But you know what? When he gets involved, Luis has to hit it hard and hit it far away. And that allows Cauldron to be able to get that first touch back. So far, though, they've not been able to do much because this El Matador side has been able to push up and get that big 50 in the opposite end. Now it's Cauldron with all the pressure. Thorngold, oh, he whiffs, but big demo right there by Smitty, who needs to turn back because the ball's going to the other end, and it goes into the back of the net, and Huey gets his second. Speaking of Huey, Skyline in chat saying, I've taught him everything I know. Christian thinking that's a serious suggestion. It's most likely a joke, dude. Don't worry about it. But Huey! Wow, where was this Huey for the past few weeks? He's turned up right here. He might have been looking forward to this matchup, and he is feasting right now. 2 goals and an assist. Incredible performance by Huey. El Matador 3-0 up. After a loss in Game 1 and an incredibly close Game 2, they have taken control of this Game 3. Wicca now, off the backboard, not able to get a second. El Matador playing disruptor. Wicca now following it up yet again. Good save. Huey now trying to take control off the corner. Not able to get a good touch. Oh, big dunk, but Wicca gets it away. Smitty towards Serrato, but Serrato just couldn't make it there, and Smitty had to get the second touch. Serrato able to get the corner past Wicca. Now needs to go back because he's still at 0 boost. Huey, nice first touch. Beats Smitty. Huey going for goal on zone. Off the backboard, Wicca try to follow it up. Not able to get the shot. And now Luis has all the time in the world. Try to slow play. Try to waste time. Bates Thorngold. Yet again, Thorngold gets beat. Luis beating a second. Cannot beat Serrato, though. They've faced each other a bunch of times in various leagues, various competitions, and various SGL seasons. So they probably know each other very well. Now Huey coming up. Not able to beat Serrato, but the ball's loose. This is Luis's ball now. Takes control, up in the air, flicks it high up, not able to get back to it though. Smitty getting the touch, getting the 50. Big demo though by Luis. Wicca not able to get the pass out, but the ball's still at the blue end. This ball might be going into the back of the net, but Luis just didn't have the boost nor the launch to get to that. Now Huey, nice first touch, still has control. Flicks, beats Thorngold. Not on target though. Wicca just playing interference right there, making sure that he can waste as much time as possible. Luis trying to go for a cycle, misses his touch. Shot off target by Smitty, and now the ball's going to the other end. Thorngold with the demo to make sure that El Matador don't get their fourth. Not that it matters though, because El Matador win this game 3 and are now gonna have match point and the potential to knock KC Cauldron out of league title contention. Excuse me. Making sure I get that arena set up and not forgetting about it like I did the last time. There we go. All right. Looking at chat, seeing what's going on. Spanky commenting on Huey's gameplay, saying Huey flying free, and then Skyline following it up with, of course, textbook Skyline. Free like P. Diddy from the courthouse. Nice. But yeah, Huey has turned it up. KC Cauldron, on the other hand, on the back foot throughout this game 3. We'll see if El Matador stick to this trio or if they make another sub. They do like to rotate. They might want to rotate yet again because that's been their MO this whole league campaign. As we enter game 4, will El Matador make a sub or will they stay with their trio? We know KC Cauldron are going to stick to their trio. But El Matador does indeed not make a sub, actually. I thought they did. Never mind. I misread the match thread. Huey's still in. They don't want to make a sub. They want to win this match and make sure that they have control of their destiny when it comes to the league title. Here we go, match point for El Matador. And for KC Cauldron, a chance to take us to Champions Field. And they have been capable of winning this matchup as well. We RL coming in, asking how we have the reward for exotic drop. We don't have rewards in this stream. Sorry, dude. These are lamenting the fact that there was no sub. Saying no changes, SMH, boring team. Not that it matters, Caesar, because your team is in the lead. Huey getting the goal for El Matador, 1-0. KC Cauldron once again having no answer to Huey. His pace has been incredible. I mean, the dude is playing with so much confidence. He has been the real difference maker, not gonna lie. And for me, he'd be the man of the match for sure. No, my man of the match for match 1 would be Shea Ball. Anyways, Huey having to defend, but it's not over yet. Smitty shot on goal. Wicca now getting a save. And El Matador need to regroup. Low on boost, but nice. Well done by EM right there. Good 50. They're able to see this off. Counterattack. Wicca to Huey. But that bounce is not in Wicca's favor. He needs to go back now. Although choosing to flick the ball up. And now Luis takes over. First touch high up. Try to use all his boosts to get that second touch, but he cannot get to it. Huey shot on target. Smitty saved off that tight angle effort. And now Thorgold trying to get it to Serrano, who misses. Thorgold, second touch, follows it up. The ball goes to the opposite corner. And now Luis and Wicca both miss. Smitty shot towards the net off of the post. Once again, Smitty had the shot. He could have put it on target, but he gets it on the crossbar. I said post, I'm sorry, I meant crossbar. Unfortunate. But those misses are gonna bite Casey Cauldron in the bum. You cannot afford to make those misses against a team like El Matador. Make every chance count. Good defending right there once again. El Matador on the back foot right now. Another miss. Wicca looking awkward too, having to flick it out to Huey, who needs to go back and get boost. This gives Casey Cauldron the chance to regroup, but big 50 by Huey. And now the ball stuck in that midfield. Wicca putting it into the blue half. Ball loose yet again. Blues with an open shot, puts it away to the opposite corner. I think he tried to direct it to the far post, but just got it way off target. Ball in the middle yet again. Luis this time. Trying to play a pass off the backboard. Open net. Huey following it up yet again. Huey is enjoying all of these assists and passes, and he's making the most of it. Wicca in the goal. I guess trying to bump the third away. And Luis beating the defender at the end right there. Christian's prediction so far looking really good. He did say he expected a sweep, but he wouldn't have been surprised if Casey Cauldron won game one. And so far, it has worked out for them. But Serrano pulls a rabbit out of the hat. Of course it had to be Serrano, bringing his team back into this game and into this matchup. Nice double tap right there. 2-1 to Casey, sorry, 2-1 to El Matador. But Casey Cauldron are back in this. They have a chance to get a quick fire second. Pass out to Thorgold, but Luis intercepts. Ball towards the net. Serrano has to clear it out. Does not get the second touch. Thorgold now clears it away. Big demo by Serrano on Wicca. Smitty now trying to get it off the backboard. Good pass right there, but an equally good clearance by Huey. And Wicca now touches it off the sidewall. Luis trying to take over, but Serrano says, hell no, you're not getting any time right there. With me, with my 0 boost, I can still keep you in check. Luis still back at it, using his boost to get that 50. Smitty now towards the opposite end. Huey, though, playing interference. What a shot by Thorgold, though! And Casey Cauldron get their equalizer. Great pass right there by Smitty. Perfect bounce. Huey cannot make it on time. Thorgold right there coming in clutch. And it is now 2-2 when El Matador looked 2-0 up and comfortable. Could we be going to game 5? Or will El Matador see this off? Casey Cauldron are doing all they can to remain alive in this title race. They will not be taking the lead, but they will be within 2 points if they win this matchup. For El Matador, 2 points is enough to keep them ahead of ECRC for the time being, but it will allow ECRC a chance to potentially tie it up on points and maybe go ahead of them on game win percentage. Goal. Getting demoed for a shot effort. Smitty now is able to take over. Serrano letting it go. I think he missed that entirely as he ran out of boost. Now Thorgold needs to do something. Misses. Luis with his wall dashes towards Huey, who gives it back to Luis, who now gets demoed for his trouble. Wicca beaten. Serrano not able to follow it up. El Matador holding on for these final 10 seconds as the Cauldron hunt for a game winner. Serrano with 0 boost, faking one. Trying to go for a 50. El Matador keep it up. Could they be getting the game and watch or not right here? Luis flicks beats one. Smitty saves. Off to the opposite end. Not over yet. Big save. Oh my goodness. Wicca tried to redirect it, but to no avail. And we are going into overtime in Utopia Coliseum. What an incredible game 4, by the way. Woo. But it's not over yet. Shot attempt there by Wicca. He could not really get a shot off, though. Ball still at the opposite end. Wicca for the game winner. Wicca with the match winner. Luis off of the sidewall. Serrano looking awkward. And Wicca in 10 seconds seals the deal and ends the match. Folks, absolute cinema. Time to catch our breath. Woo! What an incredible game. What a crazy game. Christian at the end of the day getting his prediction right. But oh my god, Casey Cauldron put up an incredible fight. Put this El Matador team on the back foot. But El Matador find a way to win. They always do. Even when they're not looking at their very best. And they always have someone available to turn up and take over, and this time it was Huey. Huey with an incredible man of the match performance ever since he got subbed in, has basically been Casey Cauldron's menace. Wicca coming up clutch as he always seems to. There's always a moment where you're like looking at Wicca and you're like, yeah, he's doing stuff, but he's not really playing a big part, and then he turns up and gets that game winner from out of nowhere. Luis didn't even need to dominate, you know, in the matchup and in the scoreboard. He was there attracting all of the attention, making sure Thorngold could never get to him, could never get a 50 on him. And Serrano and Smitty had to worry about him all the time as well. And when you have good teammates like Huey and Wicca, all you need to do is just be a magnet for the opposition, and that's what he did. Huge credit to Casey Cauldron, though. Those guys put up an incredible fight. They could have seen this off. They could have taken us to Game 5. They could have been in title contention entering the final week. But as we go into the league table very quickly, they unfortunately, like Timber's Army, are out of title contention. 7-point gap with 1 match remaining. It's over. Now it is a 2-horse race between El Matador and Emerald City RC. Emerald City RC need to beat the Rebellion in order to remain close enough. If they get 2 games, they should still be fine, but with their games win percentage, it might be very difficult for them to potentially win the title, even mathematically. But El Matador, with that win, put themselves into an incredible position. They have it in their control. They have it in their hands. They now have the chance to seal the deal next week and win the league title after winning Season 8 for the first time last season. We will see if we have any interviews around for either Casey Cauldron or El Matador, as well as one of or both of Locals and EC Eternal. All right, chat, give me your thoughts. How y'all feel? I'm seeing the El Matador boys come in. Wicca, Luis come in. Framsa, you've been watching this throughout, man. How are you feeling? I mean, I bet you guys were a little bit worried, you know, those of you who were spectating, but El Matador still saw it off at the end of the day, and well done to them. All right, we have one interview lined up, chat. We're going to be kicking it off with an El Matador interview. Ooh, excuse me. So welcome on in, Huey of El Matador. Huey, you are the man of the match. You are the man of the moment. You came in and transformed this El Matador team, dude. How are you feeling after what was an incredible performance?
Feeling great, Nats. I mean, game 1 was a little shaky. They got some jammy goals. Felt good to hear my number called for game 2, and then I mean, I was just feeling on tonight. I was able to come in and have probably my best series as a member of this league, man. I'm feeling great.
I absolutely agree. I mean, I do think this was your best performance of the season, and you kept Caesar out. Caesar's been one of the top El Matador players. What happened there? I mean, was Caesar okay? Like, he just wasn't on his game in game 1, but I'm surprised that he never even showed up since then.
He just wasn't feeling it. I wouldn't say that I kept Caesar out. It's just we felt really good about how game two went, and so we wanted to run it back. You know, it's in such a short series. You know, we only go to 3 wins. Changing the lineup when you have a winning lineup is risky, and so we all just felt like we clicked really well, and that we wanted to run it back, and we managed to rattle off 3 in a row.
And there you go. I mean, if this was earlier in the season, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys were rotating, but you guys stuck with this team. You saw it off all the way. And Huey, you were coming in with goal after goal after goal, and even defensively, you were getting a bunch of saves in. You know, compare this to where you were in the past few weeks. You were going through your struggles. You were not appearing as much. What was the difference in mindset for you compared to the past few weeks?
Oh, I knew that this was a big opportunity. I just wasn't gonna let myself come in here and have a bad series. I was dialed in. I've been playing a lot the last couple weeks. You know, I'm a student, and so I haven't had classes due to the summer, and so I've been able to spend more time on fundamentals, watch more film, position better. So I just knew coming in today when I got my number called, I wasn't gonna have a bad series. I just knew that I was gonna be locked in. I was gonna play my best Rocket League.
There you go. That's what you like to hear, and that's what you know when you're at your best, when you're feeling good in the game, you can lock in. I mean, that's when you get your best Rocket League out, and we definitely saw it out here. And chat was appreciating you as well. Skyline really enjoying your performances in the chat, and Wicca's praising you as well. And speaking of Wicca, he got that clutch game winner. Were you kind of surprised that he got the goal in the end?
No, not at all. He's a scorer. I know he plays like hard third man whenever Cesar and Luis are in, but I mean, don't let that fool you. He's got a deft little touch. I mean, he got up and the comms were nuts, and it's just a cracked angle. But no, I was not surprised to see him get the series winner at all.
And I've been wondering, speaking of that third man role, Luis was not able to, you know, turn it up and look like himself. Like, I guess he was attracting a lot of attention, but was that an intentional move by him to basically be that guy who has to take in all the attention from the opposition, not be able to produce as much? Because when you look at the scorecards, he would be in the 3rd place with you and Wicca being higher up. Was that an intentional move by Luis to play that kind of support role?
I don't think so. I think that just when Wicca and I are informed the way that we are, we're able to have more balance. You know, we all rotate through first, second, third man with a lot more flow and a lot more evenness between. So, I mean, I think he was just playing smart, controlled Rocket League. He didn't feel like he had to solo every play to score a goal. We just played positional Rocket League. We beat the men that we had to, and then we were able to find some goals, win the series.
Absolutely. And it worked out. You know, team play is what it's all about, and the team comes above the players. So, you know what? He recognized that, and you guys recognized it all together. And you guys produced a huge win here against the locals. You guys are down 39 points, and you've opened up a big lead now. ECRC can win, but they will still be 2 points behind you. So now you have this league title under your control. Your final match, I'm looking it up real quick, will be against if you've seen this already, let me know, but I'm checking it. Your
Rebellion.
Final matchup
I think it's Rebellion.
It is the Rebellion, yes, who interestingly are facing Emerald City RC this week. So are you guys still gonna be open to rotating your lineup, or are you guys just gonna see that off as quickly as possible?
That's a great question. Above my pay grade. Thank goodness I'm not Luis, and I don't have to make those decisions. I just play when I'm feeling good and when I'm told. If I had to guess though, I think we can start with a bit of a more mixed rotation. Maybe either Luis or Caesar. We might not need both, but if we do get in a little bit of trouble in the series, then we can roll them both out, and then whichever third man's feeling the best that day will be what we roll with. But we just have so many options. So many of the players are good. I mean, you didn't even get to see Kiwi tonight, and you know he can just take over a series at any moment. We have so many options. It kind of feels hard to go wrong at this point.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's another player we also haven't seen tonight, and that's Kuv. And, Caesar's lamenting his lack of an appearance. Will we potentially see Kuv in that final matchup in week 14? Heck, will we even see Kuv in the cup matchup next week against KC Cauldron?
Oh, you can count on Kuv making a cup appearance. That's our cup specialist right there. What was the name? There was the Norwich keeper, Tim Krul, the
Tim
knockout
Krul.
penalty specialist for Netherlands and for Norwich. That's him right there. He's our knockout specialist, our drop shot specialist. He's gonna absolutely cook next week. I don't know if he wants to play in 14. I'd imagine if he wants to shout, then we're gonna give it to him in 14. We pay respects to those who came before us, and he's been on this team a long, long time. I'd love to give him a shout.
Oh, absolutely. And, we'll see if he'll be able to make an appearance. But yeah, you beat them in the league. Now you'll face them in the cup in the lower final. Do you think this was a good precursor for what we and a good appetizer for what we can expect to see in the cup match?
Oh yeah, man. And it's gonna be even better because the series goes to 7, so it's a longer series. They had a couple of close games. I think we had 2 OT winners and 3 and 4, which could have easily gone the other way. So it's back and forth Rocket League. We have a lot of respect for them. They have a lot of respect for us. It's gonna be top tier stuff to get back to Timber's Army in the grand final.
Absolutely. We cannot wait for that matchup next week. But for now, enjoy your win. I'm going to leave the floor to you. If you have anything you want to say, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, guys. Thank you for streaming and supporting. Always fun when you're on the commentary. You just bring the energy. Thank you to the team, Luis, Caesar, Wicca, Kiwi, just all the lads. It's been a long season. We started this back in like February, March. It's been a long season. We're finally down to the business end of it, and it's just fantastic Rocket League. I love playing with these boys. I love playing in this league. I love sharing my love for soccer and Rocket League with other people who have the same loves that I do. So always a pleasure to be on the stream. Always a pleasure to play. That's it, guys. We'll see you next week against KC.
Absolutely. We cannot wait for that matchup. That is going to be an absolutely incredible matchup to look forward to for sure. But for now, enjoy your win out there. GG's. Well done, Huey. You're my man of the match for tonight. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.
Yeah, GG's, Mets. Thanks.
That was Huey of El Matador. Folks, we're going to be going into second interview shortly, but before we do, I just want to do a quick recap of the results. We just saw KC Cauldron versus El Matador. KC Cauldron losing out 3-1 and getting out of title contention. They're no longer going to be able to win the title. Locals versus EC Eternal was our first matchup of the night, and the Locals saw EC Eternal with a sweep, although EC Eternal tried to make things a little interesting in that Game 3. And it's interesting that we're talking about this right now because we do have someone available to interview from that matchup. So we will be bringing in that someone very soon. But whilst we wait for that, actually, no, we don't even need to wait much longer. He is here. So, chat, welcome on in. KJ of the Locals. KJ, I believe you are a bit surprised to be called in this soon, but we've had no interviews available for the Locals, so you're in next. KJ, big sweep against EC Eternal. Were you guys looking forward to this matchup as a way to showcase who you really are, to really assert your position for next season?
I don't know if I would go that far. We're kind of closed out the season. We got our newer players in who are still really excited to have joined us, which is nice. But we were just we were ready to close out the season strong. It's always nice to go out on a win. And we'll see where we go from here.
Absolutely. I mean, Shea Bob looked absolutely incredible today. And even you were at the top of your game, and you were like at a level I haven't seen in a while this season at the very least. Compared to where you guys were at the start of the season, like, can you tell us a bit more about how you feel about how much your whole team has progressed?
Obviously adding Shea and Munz did really good things for us. They came in and played extremely well, and we've played a little more outside of games as well, just fooling around and getting to play together a little more. So those have been really nice factors in it to get up the momentum as we've gone through the second half.
Heck yeah, it's starting to show because your team chemistry was on another level. And you guys even need Becky Ducky around. You guys saw this off with a sweep without Becky Ducky. What does that say about the depth that the Locals has now, especially going into next season?
Yeah, well, we knew Duck's on vacation this week, so he wouldn't be around. And then, I'm going to be honest, 5 minutes to go, and I didn't have any teammates in the VC with me. I was getting a little worried. So it was the first three who showed up tonight got to play. But, it's nice compared to seasons past where we've had that versatility. We've had more players to choose from. And, we trust everybody to come in and put up a good effort.
And you know what? That's the depth that you guys will want when you go into a long season, because players will come and go. They may be available, they may not be. If you want to get the wins, you got to get the good players in, right? So this has definitely helped out. With that said, there is a player who has yet to make an appearance this season, Kima. And with 1 week to go for the Locals, can we expect a Kima appearance?
Well, that's a thing that we won't, because we don't have any games left. We are actually on the bye for the last match day.
Your season's over.
So, yeah, no, he didn't pop in tonight. I thought he might, and we'd get him a run out, but he wasn't able to make it. So, unfortunately, Kima's not going to be able to play with us this season. But we're already, we've talked a little bit, especially with the new blood on Shea. Shea is an excited person in a very good way, and is interested in trying to expand things for next season. Maybe we get a second team, and we'd have a good place for. Our higher players, obviously, like Duck, and then more emerging players would get a chance to come into play.
It's interesting you mention that, because I do remember a few old Locals players who were regulars, like Silver Joker, if you remember him, and there's another guy whose name I just forgot. Darn it! But there are a couple of guys who were there back in the day, making good contributions in the lower tier. And now they're just no longer around, unfortunately. So could we expect to see them make a return?
I'm always asking when we go into these seasons, but I think, real life just got in the way for most of them.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, if it's real life, there's nothing else you can do. So that's okay. With that said, I look forward to seeing any new players that may pop up. As for this time around, I mean, going back to the matchup, Game 3 was a bit of a tougher one for you guys. So... how are you able to see that off at the end of the day? Because EC Eternal pushed you to your limits in that Game 3.
Yeah, it was clearly a game of two halves. We jumped out early. We were feeling pretty free, and I think we got a little, I don't want to say cocky, but we were definitely a little loose. And, they're a really good team. They made a couple of just killer passing plays to spark their comeback. And, we just had to tighten up in the back, pay attention a little more to where the ball was flying around, and we were able to hold on.
Absolutely. And you guys adjusted very quickly as well, and we're able to see that off at the end of the day. So well done to you on that, GG's. When it comes to what you can expect next season, I know we've talked about that extensively, but I'm just curious about your position. If there were to be two teams, where would you end up?
I mean, if we look at it right now with what we've got, and obviously it depends on who we can bring in, but I would kind of suspect I fall on the lower side at the moment. But I'd say there's a lot of time, but I actually don't know when the next season might pop up.
Yeah, so that remains to be seen. I mean, formally, we don't have a date set as of yet, but typically the way it goes is we have 6 weeks for a break and then 2 to 3 weeks to set up for the next season. So this might start at around September, I guess. Don't take my word for it.
That's been about my guess is September or October.
Yeah, so somewhere around there, ballpark. All right, so Again, my personal guess. This is not an official announcement. It's just my personal guess. Just make sure that's out there and in the clear. Yeah, there you go. Well done on that win. GG's. Good way to end the season, not gonna lie. You know, with a sweep, although that game 3 was anything but, you know, a close game. Anything but a comfortable game. I mean, they were coming back. They almost saw overtime, but well done nonetheless. You finish your season off with a sweep, solid win. And now the floor is yours, KJ, for the last time at the interview booth at the very least. So there you go. Floor is yours.
Well, shout out to any of the locals or other San Diego fans who might happen to watch this. Shout out, as always, to the rest of the SGL family, everybody in chat. Quick shout out to EM. Congratulations on your win tonight as well. And as always, thank you, Maz, for holding this all together.
Appreciate it. I got to thank you as well for this beautiful overlay, because it is doing a lot of work. And, we wouldn't be able to present a lot of these streams in such a good manner without it. So huge shout outs and a huge thanks to you as well for this. And, I know we've said this a whole lot, but we cannot thank you enough for this. This has been an incredible contribution by you. So,
You're
really
welcome, and thank you.
it.
I appreciate that.
Well, there you have it. Thank you very much, KJ. I will let you go. I also need to go. It's about midnight. I'm going to have to go to bed soon. Take care. Have a good night. And you know what? Let's see if we can get some scrims scheduled between you and a few other teams just to fill in that time in between. Just so, you guys have some gameplay to go for the next couple of weeks. If you want to talk about that, hit me up in the chats. But yeah, well, let's see what we could do there.
See if we can get some people going on some show matches in the off season.
Indeed, for sure. Or even next week, because next week is just one match. So something to keep in mind.
Good point.
All right, thank you very much.
Well,
KJ.
thank you very much.
Take care.
You have a good night.
You too, my man. Take care. And there he goes. Big win for the locals to end their season, and a huge win for El Matador, 3-0 and 3-1 respectively. And we have one matchup remaining this week between the Rebellion and Emerald City RC. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, that's likely going to go to Monday. It has not been formally scheduled yet, though. We're still waiting for both teams to agree on a time. But for now, don't be surprised if that gets played out on Monday. Another quick look at the league standings to see where we are at right now. El Matador 6 points ahead of Emerald City RC. So for them, their destiny is in their hands. Even if Emerald City RC wins, El Matador will be up ahead by 2 points. And then in the final match week, El Matador faces the same Rebellion team that Emerald City's RC is going to be playing for this week. As for KC Cauldron, with that 3-1 loss, they are out of title contention. Tied on points with Timber's Army, but in 4th courtesy of that game's win percentage. And it looks like the locals have confirmed that 5th place finish. The Rebellion confirmed 6th, and Eternal confirmed 7th. So our bottom 3 are set in stone in the Premier. Our top 4 remains to be seen. Cauldron and Timber's Army going to battle it out for 3rd place. For sure, Emerald City RC as well in that battle. Potentially, if they somehow lose to the Rebellion. I mean, it's not a 0% chance for the Rebellion. It's not like it's impossible, but, I just have to say this. On the off chance that the Emerald City RC does lose, that Timber's Army and KC Cauldron have a chance to finish in 2nd. But if ECRC wins, then, yeah, they'll have 2nd place sealed. For sure. There you have it. So, next week, we'll most likely have ECRC versus the Rebellion. Sorry, the Rebellion versus ECRC. We will also have the lower cup final between KC Cauldron and El Matador. And we'll see if we have any show matches lined up. But for now, chat, thank you very much for joining me in this long stream. It is about midnight here, so I'm going to be heading out and going to bed soon. GG's to all teams that played tonight. Luis, good to see you as always in the chat with the final word right there. Y'all have a good night. Take care, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.